Hi guys, welcome back to the Financial Drive-Thru, your stop for cryptocurrency related information and all the happenings in the news. I am your host, Majesty Ibianga, and today we're just gonna drive real quick through all the headlines that we have for you today, shall we? First on our list, we're gonna talk about what happened last week when Bitcoin price slipped below 8,000. And right after that, we're gonna talk about Vitalik Buterin's own comments on the ETF and his stance on adoption. Next up, Tron users are going to be quite pleased. Tron achieves 2,000 transactions per second and surpasses Ethereum. More unconventional news on my channel. Kanye West's wife Kim Kardashian mentions Bitcoin on Instagram. So why do we care? We'll find out. Then on the mining front, Google sends warning to cryptocurrency mining apps. And in Texas is bringing the heat as an alternative to mining in cold climate. So this should be quite interesting. Last but not the least, Charlie Lee announces he is joining HitBTC blockchain-enabled phone Exodus as an advisor. So if you like this kind of content, do me a favor and smash the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can catch my videos as they drop. And that said, let's drive through. First up, last week we saw the SEC's rejection of the Bitcoin ETF proposal from the Winklevoss twins led to a 5% drop in the price of Bitcoin. That can be seen over here on the charts. It was, this huge red candlestick right here. Let's make that bigger. So right now the market did respect the continuous trend line that I drew over here and rose all the way back to, this is about 8,200, and we're in the middle of some consolidation, though it does look like the bears are actually pushing right now. The price is still holding around the 8,100 level. And let's just take a look at what happened with the ETF. So on Thursday, July 26th, the SEC published a report rejecting the Bitcoin ETF proposal filed by the Winklevoss twins back in June. They had its reason behind the rejection, stating the proposal put forward falls short of addressing and preventing issues of fraud and price manipulation in the cryptocurrency market. The SEC did note that it's certainly keeping the doors open for consideration of more Bitcoin ETF proposals in the future. So we're going to do a quick cut and look at CNBC's announcement of the Bitcoin ETF proposal rejection. So you know what, I just thought about it. Just in case there are people who don't know what exchange traded funds are, I'm going to play this other video real quick. It's an Investopedia video, so giving credit where it's due.
Exchange traded funds, or ETFs, are securities that are created to behave the same way as a specific index or a collection of different securities. This means that the ETF will track or move in tandem with the securities it is designed to follow.
That's really just the gist of it. A Bitcoin ETF would work in the same way. It will basically move in tandem with the actual Bitcoin price, and people would actually be able to invest in Bitcoin without actually having to buy any physically. They just buy the ETF, trade that, feel more secure, feel safer, which is kind of why everybody is questioning the whole talk from the SEC. They're concerned about fraudulence and, price manipulation and such. But over to the video.
The SEC, Sarah, is disapproving the BATS Exchange application to list the Winklevoss Bitcoin ETF. This has been awaited for a long time. Some people have been anticipating that it might get approval. It is not. The SEC is disapproving. They are saying it has not met its burden under the Exchange Act. The SEC goes on to say that their mission is to prevent fraudulent or manipulative acts or practices and to protect investors. The SEC is making it clear here that they're concerned about fraud and manipulation of Bitcoin. They note that this is done in a largely unregulated offshore market. They note most recent data would seem to indicate 3/4 of the volume in Bitcoin trading occurs outside the United States. 95% of the trading occurs on non-U.S. exchanges. They express concerns about that. I would note one other important thing here. There is another Bitcoin ETF that Van Eck has filed that they have made no comment out at all, and it is clear that that is still under consideration. So this is not a complete denial of all Bitcoin ETFs, but this is certainly the most well-known one. Where do we go from here? Well, the next step would be an appeal at this point if they wanted to, if the Winklevoss twins wanted to the U.S. Court of Appeal, and we'll see what happens from there. By the way, they went out of their way to say this does not mean that they're making any comment about blockchain or Bitcoin in general, or the feasibility of whether or not it's an efficient technology.
Next up, Vitalik Buterin says too much emphasis is on the Bitcoin ETF. He stresses that adoption needs more attention. What he thinks is that the ETF is only good to make price go up, and according to him, the adoption of cryptocurrencies in mainstream businesses is more important fundamentally than the prices going up right now. I'm interested to know what you think about that, because I personally agree, but at the same time, you see, we are currently quite invested in Bitcoin, and we also want to see the prices go up, because 2018 has been a really rough year for everybody in crypto, and I think I speak for all of us when we say we could use an ETF to push the price up while we figure the rest of things out. So over here, he says, if someone is asked today about the prices of Bitcoin and various altcoins, they will be in a position answer. But if you ask them regarding their use case of the technology behind the altcoin, not many will be able to place an answer. And so I'm very guilty of that. That's exactly what I just said. We're all thinking about the positions that we have in place and how we want them to surge. We want a bull run. We want stuff to happen real quick. And I mean, buying coffee with Bitcoin, paying your Uber with Bitcoin, all that stuff is really great stuff and is what we want in the future. This is why we're talking about blockchain adoption in general. But if I'm being honest, right now I am guilty of wanting the price to surge. So I hear you, Vitalik, I hear you, but yeah. So he says it has to be the technology and its adoption and not a financial product that attracts investment and takes the price higher. Very true, because I mean, we saw what happened, last year when everybody was jumping in. We had a lot of stupid money coming into the system. So he goes, because after all the news around fades out, the actual thing that will be required for prices to sustain and investors to make money in the crypto markets will be the fundamentals of each coin or token, which is its technology and how it's accepted by the business, or how it's accepted by the business for mainstream usage. Here again, he adds that in the haste of making quick money in the markets, most people today have either neglected to recall or totally forgotten the philosophical purpose which underlines Bitcoin's creation. Moving on to other news, Tron holders are going to be really pleased with this one. Tron achieves 2,000 transactions per second and surpasses Ethereum. Now, I see this, and this article came out, when was this released? 41 minutes ago, so that was today. And real quick, I'm just going to look at Tron. So here on CoinMarketCap, we actually see Tron is ranked 11 above Neo and Dash. Actually above Monero, Neo, and Dash, so it's not doing too badly. And down by minus 1.13% right now. Anyways, Tron's recent mainnet launch marked its official migration from the Ethereum blockchain it was initially on it. Following its partnership with Buterin, Tron's new blockchain has achieved 2,000 transactions per second. So it's now boasting speeds 80 times that of its competitors. And Justin Sun, here we have a tweet here where he says Tron is 80 times faster than Ethereum. With 14 years of experience, BitTorrent is providing a world-class service to 100 million users in 138 countries. And if you put those two together, you get the largest and most advanced peer-to-peer network in the world. So if you've been on Twitter a while, you'd have seen Justin Sun and Vitalik. Usually they have a lot of banter. So this is gonna start up something really nice. So here he's boasting about the potential of Tron's $140 million acquisition of BitTorrent in a tweet, and dubbed the company the world's largest decentralized ecosystem. So BitTorrent, for those of you that don't know, is the owner and operator of a popular torrent client, uTorrent, which reportedly has over 100 million active users and runs up to 40% of the world's internet traffic on a daily basis. So they went on here to do a lot of technical talk about Tron versus Ethereum. Now, I don't pretend to be an expert, so I'm not going to get into this. But if you are interested in the technicals, and I'll put this link in the details section of the video, and you can catch up with that from there. So yes, Kanye West's wife Kim Kardashian mentions Bitcoin on Instagram. Apparently what's in the news is they stepped up their poker game and were playing for Bitcoin. So why is this news? A lot of people might be asking. It's just the same thing we always get when a celebrity, and I mean a huge celebrity, actually talks about Bitcoin. There's no such thing as bad publicity. And, the more people that get talking about Bitcoin and the more randomly they use Bitcoin, I think that works out better for the community. But that is my opinion. I want to know what yours is. So here they also say, as the cryptocurrency community yearns for more adoption and use case, one can't help but think of Kim K's Bitcoin Instagram promotion as nothing but a good thing, no matter what your opinion or take is on the star. What I found interesting, and I did not know this, Kanye West actually is not new to crypto space, and he has his own coin called Kanye. Created this back in January 7, 2014. Yeah, so there are a bunch of tweets over here, and something I found really amusing. They said, Kanye West supports decentralization in a tweet. So we looked at the tweet, and all we saw was decentralized. So simple. 12,200 people are talking about this. 40,700 people heard this. Google sends warning to cryptocurrency mining apps. So apparently after Apple did a similar thing, Google have decided to update their Play Store policies, which has resulted in banning apps which mine cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ripple, and Ethereum. So this move comes after they introduced some changes to their new policies to the App Store review guidelines and Google's updated Play Store policies. So Google has had a few reports on apps that have offensive material in them, and they have restricted those apps which they believe promote violence, self-harm, discrimination, and hate speech. More recently, apps on the Play Store have been doing what they call cryptojacking. And cryptojacking is an issue that is affecting several apps today where scammers insert the mining software into their apps. So technically you're using these apps and somebody is, the longer you're online using these apps, the more money someone is earning on the other end, So basically using your processing power to mine and benefit on their own part. Google is doing this in a bid to protect its users. And I can only end up wondering, how far we're going to go with all this. Because personally, I mine Electroneum on the Electroneum app. I kind of like the app. It works just fine. And yeah, this is me hoping it doesn't go on anyone's radar. That's all I'm saying. I don't really value Electroneum, but I mean, if I have the data and the bandwidth, I see no reason why I should make a couple extra scraps. So I'm going to do a video talking about Electroneum mining. I think right now it's on both iOS and Android, so yeah. Then in Texas, now usually it's a known fact that mining is usually favored in places with very cold climates. So Houston is definitely not one of those places. In fact, Houston is quite hot. And so right now they found a way to use heat as an alternative to mining in the cold climates. So there's this company, and it's TMG Core. TMG Core is using custom-built mining rigs and a tested cooling method to ensure that their mining operations are not location-dependent. So they're said to be moving a 150,000 square foot data center in the city of Plano, Texas. Now, what the CEO, JD on Wright, says, he says it's going to eliminate 100% of the need to be in a geographic location conducive to air-cooled mining. And they've eliminated 90% of the cost associated with removing the heat in air-cooled mining. So for all you would-be miners, I mean, this is great news, because if you have this kind of technology, I think you should look into it. I think anybody that's into mining should look into this personally. This is not a promotion in any way. I just read this. I thought it was interesting because hot places could use some mining, especially right now, with profitability being down and all. If you can handle it, why not? It goes on to say the cost of industrial power in Texas is more than $1 cheaper than the national average, and is currently sitting at just under $56 per megawatt hour. So there is some potential to look into this, and yeah, I found that interesting. So I hope somebody could actually make some use of that. And then Charlie Lee announces he's joining HTC's blockchain-enabled phone Exodus as an advisor. Now, HTC will be introducing the blockchain-enabled flagship phone, and the phone will have a cold storage wallet and will also have decentralized applications and facilities. In case you don't know Charlie Lee is the founder of Litecoin, and he's announced that he'll be joining them on, I think he made his announcement on Sunday. He sent out a tweet saying he met with the HTC Exodus team last week, and he was really excited to hear that his phone will support, and get this, LTC and Lightning Network on Litecoin natively. That is huge. So he'll be an advisor as he sees having a secure crypto phone that makes the Lightning Network simple is needed for mass adoption. And then he goes, no, they will not remove BTC. So that's very good. And so over here in this article, we still have some more tweets going on. Now, they said the company is going to announce 2 more partnerships to accelerate advancement in the space. Animoca, the distributor of CryptoKitties, and Bitmark, and the crypto-based digital ownership projects. So that's some stuff to look forward to, and probably all we're going to be looking at today. If you like this content, do smash the like button, hit the subscribe button so you can catch my videos as they drop. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.